Wow. The champ on cowboy shit. Describing the fight of the century. And it involved our very own co-host, Ted Stovin, whose reputation now is going around as a badass brawler at the Bull Bustin'.
That is right. And many-time co-host, guest host, Keenan Vine. Yeah,
so
watch out. So just for those wondering, that was Keenan telling the story of what happened on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night at Bull Bustin'.
But
at the Grey Eagle Casino.
Done by the voice of the champ, popular radio personality back in the day. But let's go right to it. By the sounds of it, down goes the price of beef. We got Wild Bill Stovin. You guys had to tune a guy in. Yeah.
So going from the story, this guy smashes comes right behind the bar, smashes a tip jar on this bartender girl's head. So Keenan and I just we couldn't let this guy get away, right? We're not a chance. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, what, how big you are, nothing. He was very much I had to jump up to take him down.
And just so people know, the guy has gotten bigger as the story has progressed.
So he's 7'6" at this point.
He started at 6'2" last week. He's 7'2"
He's
now.
He's an 8 foot tall giraffe of a human being. 300 pounds, solid muscle.
So anyways, you guys say this guy can't get away with this shit.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but I kind of had that my nice that leather jacket on.
Oh yeah.
I shucked it on the floor behind me. Katie and Cassie are there. They are what is going on? I shuck my jacket and bolt for this guy, and then I don't really know what happened exactly. I can't really remember, but Keenan had a hold of him already, so I just jumped up at the guy, grabbed my arm around his neck, and just took him down immediately. Like you say, down goes the price of beef, and then I'm we just citizen arrested him. It was kind of funny because
citizen's arrest.
but I was golfing in the morning with Bear Lightbound and. Parsonage, Jared Parsonage, and then Chris Schlenker is a ref in the NHL. And so the three of us were golfing. And another funny story, Schlenker got tore his Achilles, so he had Achilles surgery. He's golfing on a peg leg, and he still fucking beats us in a match because his one leg, but he's still a scratch golfer. Shoots an 82 at Valley. I shoot a 95. Anyways, Schlenker's telling us some old cop stories earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of oh, that's kind of
jacked
crazy
up.
shit. So then I'm all jacked up from the cop stories, and I just go full cop mode in the back.
And what was Keenan's role in this? Did you take the guy down first? Did you get the
no?
perp?
Keenan had a hold of him.
Okay.
Keenan had a hold of him. It was tag team.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just took him down with the people's headlock.
All right.
And then everybody at the bull riding thought it was the funniest thing. The two most unlikely guys to take somebody down in the bar.
That clip you heard at the start of the show was played in our Calgary Stampede production meeting, courtesy of Brinson, before the meeting. So everybody heard it.
Day one.
So what a wild start to the week. You're listening to episode, we don't know what it is, 170 something?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Cowboy shit. We're on the patio at Ranchman's.
Yeah.
They're partnering with us on this show.
Yeah.
Ted's kicking the shit out of guys. We're in day 3 of Calgary Stampede. At the time of this recording, we're up on the deck.
Yeah.
Beautiful night in the city.
Oh, yeah.
Stampede is in full swing.
You betcha. It's rodeo season, folks.
It's rodeo
season. Hope you're taking some in out there.
Yeah, Calgary's been going good.
Yep.
Bull Bustin' went awesome.
Yeah, Nick Tetz is on an absolute
killing it. Yeah, winning the big bucks. We'll talk about that in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got his traveling partner.
The
star of our show today.
Yeah.
Dusty Golden.
But before we get to that, though, we got Megan from the Ranchmans. She's going to tell us a bunch of stuff about what's going on.
Yep.
So enjoy the show this week.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Okay, we are here on the Ranchman's patio with the live music and special events manager for the Ranchman's Cookhouse and Dance Hall. Megan, tell us about the week. We're already halfway through Stampede here, but
I know.
We got a hot weekend coming up at the Ranchman's.
Exactly. I know everyone might be tired. It is a marathon.
I'm tired right now.
It's not a sprint, but it's Stampede all year round for us. But especially during this time of year, it's our Christmas. It's our favorite time. So coming up this weekend, more great live music and events. Tonight we even have a Taylor Swift tribute band. So dear Swiftie, it's time for you to come to Ranchman's.
Bring your friendship bracelet.
But
literally, yes.
We talked about this last week, though, that you're letting minors in for the first part of the show.
Yes.
First part of the night.
Well, yes. So yesterday we had our all ages event, and that was in the tent, and we opened it up to kids, bring their parents, bring their kids or
Yeah.
kids brought their parents.
Yeah,
And it was
exactly.
great. So then tonight we have the 18 plus show that's going to be in the bar. And we anticipate it's going to be another great night. We even had a bachelorette call out. So a lot of brides in there.
Ooh.
And
Look
their
at that.
girls are going to be coming by. So
Right
it's going to
on.
be a packed house. And yeah, we actually we'll have like friendship bracelets and
Oh, no way.
just like all those
Ranchman.
colorful outfits. Like when you go
I
to
heart
the Taylor
Ranchman.
Swift shows and you see them all dressed up, I think that's going to be the vibe tonight.
Oh, dang.
And you guys have been killing it with the live music shows here. Randall King, Zach Top coming up. Like,
Yes.
these are the heaters right now in country music. Talk about the live music that's been here because it's been so good.
Thank you. Yes, I think Randall King kind of was the pre-Stampede back in June.
Yep.
And then this past Sunday, we had Drake Milligan. We had Chancey Williams last night. And then the one that's everyone getting really excited for is Zach Top tomorrow night. It is a sold-out show, so I am sorry to everyone listening to this
Yeah,
right
sorry
now
you can't
thinking,
I got 2
Can I get
tickets
in?
for the highest
Can I-
bidder. No, I ain't giving them up. I ain't not giving them up.
You got to buy them.
Yeah.
honestly, like it's gonna be
Damn.
crazy tomorrow.
that's so cool.
Yeah, Zach Top, and then we have a great weekend of more local
Yeah.
acts that are gonna be here. Ben Chase, actually, he's not
Oh,
local.
yeah.
He's in
No,
Nashville
Ben. Yeah.
from PEI.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's gonna be here tomorrow or on
Unreal.
Friday.
On Friday.
And yeah, then we end Stampede with EDM country group MC4D on Sunday. So that's like
boy.
our championship Sunday Canadian tuxedo night.
And then EDM just party rocking.
Honestly, so last year we had a group called Vavo, and they were kind of a similar.
Oh, they were at the Coke stage yesterday.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
like on whatever.
a couple days ago, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sometime.
so a similar act to what Vavo is. MC40 is like the up and coming.
Oh,
So if
really?
you like country music, I always think about this. If you like country music and you like listening to them at the gym, you want that like upbeat. This is what they do. So
Really?
it's gonna be fun coming in this weekend.
So we just did the show with Dusty, and like tell us about you. Like you found
You
him.
discovered him.
Yeah, you're
Like a Star is Born
You're
kind
gonna
of,
have to
you
be his
discovered
agent
him.
here
Is that
too
what he's-
sometime.
I love him
Yeah.
so much. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I believe it was either I messaged him or he messaged me on Instagram.
No, he said you slid into his DMs.
Okay.
Just to get
I
it
slid
right.
into the DMs.
Just get it right.
And
I know Dylan's over there, but I mean, like, it's for
yeah, my
work.
husband's like, what did you just do?
It's for work. It's for work.
Exactly. And he was just posting, I think, maybe 1 or 2 reels.
From his dorm room, he says.
Yes, and it was, not the best quality audio, but I'm like, there's something with this guy.
He's good.
He needs to come to Ranchman's
Yeah.
and do some local vocals, which we do on Thursday nights throughout the year, and killed it. Invited him to do our Rising Star competition in September, October, and he got second place in his
Yeah.
first year trying
That's huge.
out for the Rising Star competition, and now look at him. So
Look at him.
You single-handedly launched his career. Wow.
honestly, I better get some royalties coming up in the
Yeah.
next couple of years.
Yeah. Turns
We're already
out.
trying to sign him
Yeah.
to our Cowboy Sh label.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
Okay.
looking for our first artist, so
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll manage him.
Turns out the music business is a little bit light on the
Yeah.
payments so far,
Yeah.
but you can get a 0.00001% of the sales.
Okay, I'll take
Apparently, yeah.
it adds
Yeah.
up. What's been your favorite Stampede moment here at Ranchman's?
it. Ooh, that's a great question. You know what? I think it's the pole climb for me. The Cowboys versus Firefighters pole climb is something that is so unique to Ranchman's that no one else even like touches that has a comparison to. You can go to all the other tents and get live music and you have great drinks and fun with friends, but for 42 years we've been doing the Firefighters versus Cowboys pole climb, and it's very unique, and everyone always has that on the top of their list when they look back at Stampede, and it's for me too.
Ted, have you competed in it?
I have, and I was bad.
Yeah, let's talk about
I
it.
wish I
Yeah.
was there.
Is
Tell
there,
me
Oh,
is there
more.
a
so
video
bad.
or photo from that's quite a
I
few years
hope
ago,
not.
right?
I'm pretty sure I took my shirt off in the Calcutta, and it was embarrassing.
Oh my goodness.
It was bad.
Do we have photos?
No.
Is this where we
Don't
like
even
clip a
ask.
like,
This was like disposable
Don't even
camera
ask.
days and fuzzy
Yeah,
camera
this was-
phone days.
This was pre-social media.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
goodness.
Thank goodness.
Dang it.
You were in it one time too, were
Teddy
you
had,
not?
I think so. Teddy had two
Dustin
abs
took a
back
sh-
then.
Dustin took a shirt off.
Now, did you like beat the firefighters?
Oh hell no.
No,
Not even
no.
close.
No.
They are jacked, honestly.
But see, I thought I
Well,
had the
yeah.
best of both worlds because I was a volunteer fireman and
a
in the
cowboy.
Cowboys, but it
And a
didn't
cowboy.
it didn't combine to
Didn't help.
anything.
Turns out
Oh.
it did not
Yeah,
help.
no.
It like minus.
I fell
Yeah.
down the pole.
They canceled each
Climbed
other
up
out
the
and they had a bad time.
pole. Yeah.
It's always great though when you're driving on McLeod, and for those who don't know what's happening, and you just see
See people
like
climb
two
up the
guys
pole.
climbing these poles. And it's like, what is going on at
pole
that bar?
dancing
Like, are
race.
they just climbing on the roof?
It's a pole dancing race.
So when someone comes up to you and says, describe Ranchman's, for someone that came to Calgary for the Stampede's never been here,
Yeah.
how do you explain Ranchman's to somebody?
I easily say it is Canada's greatest honky tonk, the true rodeo bar.
Rodeo's number one spot.
Yeah, if you want that authentic Western experience, then you come to Ranchman's. Like if you're
There's
wanting that
saddles everywhere.
pop and rap, go somewhere else because you're not going to get it here.
Go somewhere else. Not-
And if you watched old Disney movies, yes, the Cool Runnings, Jamaican bobsleds
Yes! Oh,
was filmed here,
Yeah.
and this is where they danced.
yeah.
this is true.
Yeah, it's a piece of Americana.
Well, did you know?
Canadian
I
history.
saw. I think it was like on a Facebook buy and sell group. Someone
Tried to
posted.
sell it? They tried to
They
sell the-
posted the bobsleigh, and they're like, "Oh, I found it in Jamaica. Should I bring it back to Calgary?" And we got like a flood of like comments of people tagging Ranchman's, and everyone's like, "Ranchman's, you gotta go, and you gotta go to Jamaica and pick up this bobsled."
Oh,
So
geez.
if anyone is in Jamaica,
That's a work trip for you. That should be an all expenses paid work
you know
trip.
what?
You
If
guys
my
could
boss
go
is
do that.
listening,
Yeah.
I'll go.
Go do that.
Send her to Jamaica to get the bobsled and bring it back here.
Oh boy.
In your time here, who's the most famous person that's been in Ranchman's?
Does not have to be an artist that played
Yeah.
here.
Ooh.
Anybody that was here.
Does it have to be during my time or even before my time?
Whenever if you
Yeah.
met them here.
Like,
I
we had any
didn't meet
presidents
them,
here?
but
they were
like
here.
you could easily say like someone like Toby Keith or Keith Urban.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like I think, and that was definitely not during my time at all, but years ago when they were
Before
first
you were
coming
born.
up.
Before you were
Maybe.
born.
Maybe.
Early '90s for us.
Yeah, probably.
Any
Okay.
really
What
cool
about-
artists in the pipeline that will be playing here in the future?
Besides
Oh.
Dusty
Can you leak
Golden?
anything?
Besides Dusty Golden?
Besides Dusty Golden,
Yeah.
I can't leak anything. It's honestly so tough to like see outside of Stampede right now, and
Fair.
we have our meetings every week, and it's saying, oh, like we got to think about the rest of the summer, the rest of
Yeah.
the year,
Yeah.
2025. So for me, it's being like live music and events. If there is somebody that you want to see, like please like DM us on Instagram, like tag us in the videos that you see online, because it's really nice to see what everyone else is listening to, and even if they're from the States or different parts of Canada, very interested in what everyone wants and who we should bring to Ranchman's next.
That's awesome.
Well, you're killing it because every time you guys announce a new
yeah.
artist, they've been all great. So
Yeah,
well
and
done.
Great work on the live music.
Yeah.
Like
Thank you,
having
Will.
real country music in Calgary. Like
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
Good
the
things.
legendary Wendy Daniels is
Yeah.
still a huge part, and she does an
Awesome.
amazing job of booking that main stage. I'm only a small part of that, and she continues to just, hit it out of the park every time.
unreal.
She's connected.
Love
She
it.
is.
Connected.
Love
and,
it.
and
Is.
friend of the Cowboys. Like she's a friend
Absolutely.
of all Cowboys and rodeo
Absolutely.
athletes, and like has always looked after everybody here, like during Stampede and before and after. Like she's awesome.
She's the
100%.
queen. We
Yeah.
need a crown for her.
You should get one.
I like a little cowboy crown.
Yeah.
No, we
Cowboy
could-
hat crown kind
yeah,
of thing.
Could do
I like
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Miss Rodeo Ranchman's.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Megan. This was awesome.
Thank you so
Thanks
much for having
us.
me.
Yeah. Thanks for doing it.
All right, it is Cowboy Shit live from the iconic Ranchman's on McLeod Trail during the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outdoor show on earth. But the greatest outdoor show at Ranchman's this week is going to be the man that is sitting next to us, I think personally. We're excited to have a guest beside us. He's a bull rider. He's a country music singer. Canadian Finals Cowboy, comes from a lineage of bull riding and cowboying, and now a country music recording artist. He was the runner-up at the Ranchman's Rising Star competition earlier this year. And he joins us today. A big welcome to Cowboy Shit's guest today, Dusty Golden.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
What an intro, Dusty.
Yeah,
You didn't have that one written down.
Yeah, I
Off the
just
top of the noodle.
had to announce him at a few bull riding, so you
Yeah.
just got her engraved.
Been there before, I guess.
I like it. Well, okay, so the Ranchman's, Dusty. So I was really surprised to hear that you didn't really like. You just said you didn't know about this place. How does a guy that's raised in Mayerthorpe not know about the Ranchman's?
Well, I'd heard a few stories from back in my dad's day or whatever.
Because he would have
but
rode here too, right?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
rode in Calgary for a few years. He won it in the steer riding a bunch of times,
Yeah.
and yeah, he was probably too young at the time in the steer riding to check it out. But in his later years, I heard a few
Officially.
stories. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I'm
But-
sure back then the steer riders got into Ranchman's.
I would think so, right?
I'm sure they found a way. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
The ID scanning technology probably wasn't
Yeah.
there yet.
There was some fake IDs.
What
going
years was your dad here riding? Do you
Oh,
know?
geez, I
Like
can't remember.
early
what,
90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s in the bull
2000s, okay.
riding, and early 90s in the steer riding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. I had one, but you better go.
So let's just kind of circle back. So we're we talked about in the introduction, you're a bull rider. I talked about the family lineage, and you just referenced your dad. Why don't you kind of talk us through your kind of upbringing in rodeo and kind of what got you to where you are in the bull riding side of things?
Well, yeah, like my dad, he won Canada 2 times in the steer riding back in the day, and yeah, he rode bulls for probably not as long as he would have liked to. He kind of had some injuries that held him back, his shoulder and his hips and that. But yeah, I came along and he quit bull riding, and yeah, I don't know, the last thing I think they wanted me to do was ride bulls, but that's the first thing I wanted to do ever since I can remember. Yeah.
So you never seen your dad get on a bull ever?
I've seen 2 videos of him riding a bull that I can remember. Yeah, we got some old VHS tapes, but I haven't been able to tap into those for a long time.
Wouldn't it be sweet to find some of those?
I want to get them put into DVDs at least and get them figured out. So yeah.
And then kind of talk about your career. I know you went to the CFR in the steer riding as well, kind of followed the same footsteps, and then you went off to college in the States, correct?
Yeah, I rode steers from professionally, like CPRA, from 2017 to 2019, and 2017 I was just kind of my rookie year. Got cut short. I had an injury in Kennedy, Saskatchewan there, and couldn't make it the rest of the year. And then 2018 I was season leader, and then 2019 kind of got cut short too. I was following more of the junior bull riding trail, and wasn't focusing so much on the steer riding. And yeah, after that, COVID hit, and it was supposed to be my time to shine. I was going to go after all the amateur bull riding associations and just hit the trail. And yeah, COVID put a wrench in that pretty quick. So I tried to find any way I could to go get on some bulls and just get out of town, really, and just get on the road. I just wanted to hit the highway as fast as I could. And yeah, we went down to me and a few buddies. We all went to Hobbs, New Mexico. And NMJC there.
Heard of it?
Yeah.
It's been a theme on some of the shows this year.
I feel like we've been talking about Hobbs like the last few podcasts.
Hobbs America a couple times.
Yeah, there was quite a few of us that went down there, and yeah, it was a really good time.
Which dorm did you have?
What's that?
Which dorm did you have?
Oh.
Were you in the nice new ones?
We were 213 the first year upstairs, and the second year we were right beside the dorm, the housekeeping guys. So
housekeeping guys.
Yeah, he put us right next door to him. So.
What did you take down there?
Well, lots of the guys, they took welding, and I probably should have done that. It's a pretty easy course to get by on, but I took music production. It was music and entertainment tech. Yeah, so
that's super cool.
Kind of thought that was the best of both worlds. I could ride bulls for the rodeo team and get on practice bulls every week, and then kind of work on my music in the meantime too, and learn the recording side of things. Yeah.
Man, that is such a perfect thing to take at school. To take music production, then you literally do that, immediately after. That's genius.
Well, it's funny, and we know this from being a rodeo. A lot of us announcers can grab a mic, but we can't run a soundboard.
No.
Or there's lots of musicians who are plug me in. After that, hands up, right? So that's pretty cool that you understand both sides of that.
Well, most of it. I still got a lot to learn. There's a difference between learning it and doing it too. There's a big difference there. But no, we're trying to get my feet wet and yeah, trying to get out there a little more and learn as much as I can right now.
What'd you think of the college rodeos down there?
Oh, they were good. Yeah, there was a lot of kids down south. Yeah, no, I don't know what it was. When I got down south there, I was so eager, and I just been dreaming of it my whole life, really, and got down there, and it seemed like the harder I'd try, the quicker I'd hit the ground.
Oh,
and
that's too bad.
Yeah,
for you.
Yeah, it took for me to get back home and start going to some BRCs up here to finally get that figured out again.
And when did you leave Hobbs? When were you done down there?
It would be last spring was my last semester.
Spring 23?
Yeah.
And then you competed at the BRC finals. You were kind of one of the top guns in that association.
Yeah, in 22 I made the finals. I was third, and I only got to go to, I think, 3 months because I was at school at the start and then at school at the end of the season too. And yeah, I made the most of it during the time I was there. And then at the finals I got wrecked out. And
I remember that.
Yeah. Took a little dirt nap and played a few songs on the piano, I guess you could say. And so, yeah, I had to take a little time off for that. And I got healed up, and I rode for 3 weeks. And then this practice bull I'd rode probably 30 times. He kind of left the chute a little funny. And caught my foot on the post and turned it right backwards, and I broke my tib and fib, and it didn't heal worth the crap, and took a long time. So last year I sat out pretty much the whole season.
That was practice in America, like in New Mexico?
Yeah.
So what was your hospital experience like in the U.S. to get that fixed?
The hospital?
Yeah, what was that like? Did you have insurance? Like, did they kind of just tape it up for you? Like, hey, like, sorry, I don't have insurance.
Well,
what happened? Did they send you like
actually,
75 bills after? What happened?
I had insurance, so it was all good, but I didn't have to use any of it. Since it happened on school property, they looked after me pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Like a student athlete injury in sport, like football or something, right? Yeah,
exactly.
When I got hurt in Portales, I went to school in Hobbs, and I was class of 2000.
Oh, really? Oh, no way.
I went there. I don't know. We lived on the top floor.
Yeah.
I was there when
no kidding.
Like Landon Hivenen was there at the same time, and like Dustin Round, Tatum Patton, who was Ty's sister.
Yeah.
She married Cale Peterson. They train horses over like Buck Lake area.
Okay.
Patton rope horses, like big time.
Ted, we're
race
old.
Horses.
These people are ancient.
I know some of the names. Yeah.
Right? I don't know any of these people. I'm trying to think of who else. TJ Bowles is a rope. I think he does cactus ropes up here now. But anyways, So I went to school there
was,
too.
Philip Berry your coach then? Oh,
absolutely was. Yeah.
Philip wasn't the coach there when I was there, but he was always hanging around.
Wasn't it Stuart Kinley? Didn't Stuart take over?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Manitoba originally.
Yeah.
Bunch of Canadians in New Mexico.
Yeah, no, it seemed like he recruited mostly Canadians. There was a lot of Americans there too, but there's a lot of Maple Leafs down in that area for sure.
What did you think about living in the armpit of America?
In the what?
In the armpit of America.
Wow.
It's so far from anything.
Yeah, it's far from everything, and it's sand and pump jacks pretty much is all I seen.
Oil on top of the ground.
It was really cool. It felt like I was in a Clint Eastwood movie half the time, but it was, like I say, pump jacks for trees and sand.
It's totally flat, Dustin.
Yeah.
Like it's like, so it's just in the corner. No, it's not because it's way too dusty. It's flatter, and there's nothing green anywhere unless it's like a needle on a tree. Like there's no green. There's not much green grass unless it's irrigated. Like it's
And you grew up in Mayerthorpe, where it's like
it's very
trees galore and hills and
It was pretty cool. Right in the middle of New Mexico, it's like an oasis. It's
Santa Fe,
Mescalero, and
the south way.
Yeah, there's an Indian reserve
they
there.
talk about, right?
Yeah. I had a friend of mine that I went to school with lived in Ruidoso, and he took us out there, and it was beautiful country.
Cool.
They even have ski hills there.
Really?
Yeah.
Ski hills.
Yeah.
Oh,
in Ruidoso, it's like a whole, like you said, oasis in the desert, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I remember one time we were in New Mexico. I don't know if we talked about this in the show with Shelby and Keeley, but like we were with Philip one day, and we were going, like, apparently somebody told him that he could go and get pipe out of the oil field.
Yeah.
So we were just like twisting up joints of pipe, like undoing pipe out in the middle of the field, because like in the middle of the oil field, and we were loaded up a whole trailer full of pipe out of the middle of this, like a bunch of pump jacks and stuff. There's still oil in these pipes in some of them. Like it was like very ranchy.
Yeah.
We just loaded up a bunch of pipe, and then he like built pens and shit out of it at his house. It was entertaining for New Mexico.
Yeah, no, we did some work out at Philip's place. We built a shop wall. We did some messing around.
Student labor.
It was good.
What was your favorite food from New Mexico that was new to you from Mayerthorpe to New Mexico?
Favorite food? I don't know. There's lots of Mexican restaurants around there. There's birria tacos. I think that's how you say it. You dip them in this broth or whatever.
Really?
They're really, really good.
Mine was pecan pie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got lots
pecan
of that.
pie. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Pecan pie.
Cool.
Sorry. Okay, so go ahead, Dustin.
I was just going to go, so we kind of got, rodeo side up until, say, a year or two ago. You come back up. But when did you start on the music side? When did that all begin for you?
Well, I was playing music. I got my first guitar when I was 7, so I've been playing for a long time, and I never had an iPod or anything like that, like any of the phone. I never had video games or anything, and I had an hour and a half long bus ride to school and then an hour and a half back, and my dad had I guess it was an iPod, the iTunes iPod, and there were 636 songs on there, I'm pretty sure. and all old classic rock and a bunch of old country. Like they're really good stuff.
Like what?
Like a lot of Waylon Jennings, George Jones, Merle Haggard, Chris Christopherson, John Prine was another really big influence, and so I listened to a lot of music on that bus, and yeah, they bought me that guitar and started taking me to lessons, and I had a great teacher. She just lived down the road a couple miles, and yeah, she really took the time with me, and yeah, it was awesome. And she passed away a couple years ago, and I just kind of started playing songs myself, and I was just a campfire guy really until I went to school, and then I kind of started, I don't know if you'd say taking it more serious, but diving a lot deeper and learning a lot more. And then when I got home, I was hurt and I couldn't ride. I was pretty sour actually. I was pretty mad, pretty pissed off that I couldn't go do what I wanted to do, go rodeoing. But one door closes, another one opens, and it opened up some doors in the music world.
That's super cool. Well, and you got to know it's important to be a campfire guitar player in rodeo, especially like up in the north. Like I remember playing guitar with like Troy Fisher and some of those guys when I was doing the Wild Rose finals, and all of a sudden you just have a crew of people around the campfire and singing along, and I'm sure that's probably what you were doing, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was a blast. Like Troy is actually my cousin.
Oh yeah, he likes to sing, old Troy, when he gets going. Right?
Honestly, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
I have played with him a few times.
No kidding. Well, I'll have to bug him about that next time I see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, shoot, Ponoka this last weekend. It was pretty hard to stay away from the campfires. It was pretty fun.
Well, now that everybody knows you can play and sing, are you like, is it almost like you're supposed to show up with your guitar and play, or what?
Well, I usually pack it everywhere I go anyways, so it usually works out. But yeah, when I was going to those pro rodeos as a steer rider and Dad was packing me around, I'd always have my guitar. And yeah, he had seen people that he hadn't seen in 20-some years since he quit rodeoing, so they'd be having a few beers or whatever and get me to bring out my guitar, and yeah, I'd screw the words up or I'd screw a chord up, and I'd always stop and I'd try and rewind and fix it again, and they'd give me shit. They'd just tell me to keep on rolling keep going with it, and it's a good thing they did, because that's helped me out a lot here the last few months.
So who's your biggest inspiration when you first started playing?
But there's no stopping in a live show.
No, there's no stopping.
He said it's helped him out in recently, but you're playing in front of your buddies. It's like, oh, I'm going to stop and go over. Yeah. But now you're playing in front of people. You can't be like, oh, sorry, like I got to stop. Like,
yeah, it's a whole different beast. Yeah.
So what's the experience been lately?
Well, it's pretty intimidating at first, but I mean, once you get up there and you just kind of get wrapped in the music, just as before, really. Huh. The only tricky part is when I get up there and I forget the words and I'm by myself, I can just pick and play and mess around until it comes to me, but when you're with a band, you kind of got to be on the ball and make sure you know your stuff.
Does remembering lyrics, is that something that's tough for you, or is it something you got to learn to do?
He's a bull rider. He's a little shaky.
Yeah.
Well, names and directions maybe I'm not so good at, but lyrics for some reason they stick. So
they stick with you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was just going back. I was going to ask you who like your biggest inspiration is, like musically when you first started out. Like, who is an artist or singer-songwriter that you just were like, oh, I just love this guy and would love to be like?
Oh, geez, I don't know. That's always a really tough question to answer. Like my dad and I, we'd come home from somewhere and we'd sit up in the driveway and we'd listen to music for hours and just bullshit, eh? And yeah, no, I wouldn't say there's one particular person, but there's kind of a whole genre, I guess, like Waylon and John Prine and like I don't know, the meaning of music means a lot more to me than the sound of it, kind of thing. Like you can bob your head to a nice beat or anything like that any day, but to actually understand music and really, I don't know, be able to paint a picture in your mind of what this song's trying to say, I think that's more important than anything else.
That's a good answer. I like that. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
So then, speaking of that, talk about the New Mexico Nights, the song. Tell us about that. Like, we're gonna put it in the shows here as we're going. We didn't bring the guitar today, but we're gonna throw these songs in here though, and throughout the show and kind of talk about what they are and what how they came to be. But
how they came.
Talk about that one. Like, obviously, I know how that one came to be partially, but tell us about it.
Well, like I said, when I got down south there, I was having hell, and the harder I tried, the quicker I hit the dirt. And went to a college rodeo in Sweetwater, Texas, and I finally get one rode, and I spurred them, got off on my feet, and I thought I was going to be 92 points, and they said 78 on the over the speakers, but it got me to the short go anyways. And yeah, so me and a buddy of mine, that Tad Dixon, that lived in Ruidoso there, we rode to town in his Ford Focus car, and I was, oh yeah, this is my time to shine, you know, like I'll be taking this buckle back to Hobbs for sure. And 2 jumps later, I got stepped on right on my buckle, and I was landing on the back of my head, and I limped back, dragged my bag back to his car, and it was a pretty quiet drive home. I was pretty sour, and I got to the dorms, and I just kind of went to my room, picked up my guitar, and just started strumming. And honestly, I couldn't tell you how it happened, but 15 minutes later, I had that whole song written out, and yeah, it was all done.
Is that normal for you to write songs that quick, or do you find it's like all over the place on getting something finished?
I don't know. It's hit and miss. Like sometimes you just kind of spur the moment. You get feels like a gust of wind comes in, and then you just got to write it down and just get some sort of idea or an image. And other times I'll have 3 different songs, and I'll put them together, and it'll make sense and it'll work. Yeah. So. Yeah.
You got to be sad to write a sad song and happy to write a happy song?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you can't just, I don't know, you can't write a song to pretend to be like someone else or you can't pretend when you're writing songs. It's got to come from the heart and kind of what you're thinking.
So if we hear a Dusty Golden original, it's a song that's something that's happened to you or a feeling you've had or a state you've been in? Is that safe to say?
I would say, or it's a story or something that's happened to somebody else that I know good, and yeah, no, I don't know. It's hard to lie your way through writing a song, that's for sure.
So, I want to go back to the Ranchman side of things though, because I feel like they've been a bit of a Kickstarter for what you've been doing lately.
Big time, yeah.
Right. So, Mega reaches out, gets you in the Rising Star. Is that kind of how that started, or
well, no? She reached out to me on Instagram, and she said, "Hey, I had posted a few videos of just me singing in the dorms or in my room before, and she said that you need to come out and check this local vocals thing out."
And was she still with the radio station then too?
What's that? Sorry?
Was she still with the radio station then too?
I'm not too sure.
Don't recall. Okay,
no,
anyways,
I don't know.
Proceed. Sorry.
But yeah, she said, come check out this local vocals, and just me and my guitar, and there's 2 other artists playing that day, and yeah, we played 5 or 6 songs and kind of hung out. Or there was was it 1 or 2 other artists? I can't remember. But yeah, I played for a little while, and we hung out for a bit, and yeah, no, it was good. And a little while later, she called me back for another event, and just kind of kept bringing me back. And last year during the pole climb, I was just me and my guitar. I was sitting outside on the patio here. We were playing, and yeah, shoot, I played for hours there. I played for an hour or 2 longer than I was supposed to, but yeah, no, that was really fun too. And yeah, shoot, same deal. She kind of reached out to me. I had no idea about this Rising Stars contest, and she said, "You better come check it out." So I came and I played at the auditions, and there was 2 girls, that Nolene Hoffman and Morgan Kleiber. They went before I did, and I was going to play Me and Bobby McGee, and Morgan ripped that song out before I did. So I was like, okay, well, I got to sit back and kind of revise my playlist here.
Oh, shit.
And I thought there was no way I was getting back. That Cole Martin, he was playing there too. And I was like, yeah.
Nolene's like so good too.
Oh, unreal.
Holy.
Yeah. All 3 of them are really, really good. And yeah, shoot, I thought there's no way I was going to be called back. And sure enough, they brought me back to the semifinals or whatever. And yeah, same deal. I showed up and didn't think I was going to make it back because everybody else there had a full band. And I was just sitting there with me and my guitar.
Oh, no shit. Are you telling us you beat Nolene in the first round?
Well, no, I'm getting to that part. I don't know how that all worked out. I got lucky there, I'd say.
Oh.
But yeah, so I played my 3 songs, and The
What
one.
did you sub it out for?
What's
You were
that?
gonna do Bobby McGee. What did you sub it out for?
Oh,
What'd you put in instead?
I think I played Mama Song by Cody Jinks for the auditions. Yeah. And then, for the semifinals, I came and I played 3 originals. The one I just finished writing the night before, and I just kind of said, screw it, and,
And
I'm just going
debuted
to
it
wing
during
it.
that.
Yeah, I just, like I was saying about forgetting the words and stuff, I forgot a whole line at the end of that song, and nobody noticed.
Nobody knew because it was brand
It's
new.
yours,
Yeah, so it worked out.
That's unreal.
And then I got back into the wild card round, and it was an online voting deal, and Nolene was in that one, and shoot, I was texting everybody I knew. I was like, can you vote for me? Just try this out. Just send a vote in, and I ended up getting back to the finals that way.
Well, the rodeo world casts a pretty big net, so that probably helps when you're reaching out to the guys to get some votes, hey?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, I got a lot of support and a lot of help there.
And then you came to the finals, and it looked like it was a big deal here at Ranchman's at finals, and then you end up finishing second, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it was. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I played 3 originals again, and I went back and learned that last line to that song I played, and they told me, they're like, you better get a band for this finals, because everyone else is gonna have one, and it'll make it or break it kind of thing. So I'd
You
never
had to
done
find a
that
band.
before. Yeah, and I didn't know
shit.
where to start there, so I was calling
Number 1,
everyone
steel
I knew.
guitar.
And steel guitar. I knew I needed that in there. That was
Wow. So
that was a big thing.
when you know you need that though, is that because like you hear it in your head and you're like, oh, this song needs a steel guitar, or is it because you like them because of the like? How does that become? Like, how does that happen?
I don't know. Steel guitar is in every one of those old country songs, and it just you can make that thing talk. Like you can make it tell a story on its own. And I knew I needed one of those in there. And not very many people in Alberta that play shows and that stuff have steel guitar in it.
Yeah, like I want to say Corb does sometimes. I don't know.
You don't see a lot of
recall.
guys with it. It's cool.
No.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's old school, and I don't know. I think it needs to come back for sure.
So how did you go about finding your band? What was the route to get a group put together?
Oh God, I was
Kijiji?
well, just about anyone that I knew in the music world at the time, I phoned or shot a text to or something, and they're like, well, I need the drummer I actually met at Ranchman's in the semifinals, and he said, hey, if you ever need a drummer, Josh Evans is his name. He said, you call me. So he's been my drummer ever since. And
That's cool.
So how many piece band did you get for the finals?
it was 3.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this Kevin Peters on steel guitar, Josh Evans on drums, and then the bass player. That was the tricky one to find. I was bouncing around calling people, and I can't do it, but I know a guy that can. Well, he can't do it, but I know a guy that can, and ended up finding Cody Mack is his name, and he just come out of retirement actually playing shows, so it's pretty cool to have him on board. You could tell he's been on the road and been there, done that, and it was pretty good to have him at the rehearsals and kind of keep everybody in line, I guess, and make sure it was all gonna roll smooth.
So what's the next couple shows after this? Like, what else you got on the books now?
Well, we got Ranchman's here tomorrow night, and then July 20th, there's a Bull Riders Canada event in Darwell, and I'll be riding at the bull riding, and then right after the short go, I'm gonna run to the stage and get my guitar tuned up and kick off the beer gardens there. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Well, I remember last time. That's the first time I'd seen you play live. You played the cabaret at the Bull Riders Canada Finals in Sylvan Lake, and then
Like the whole show?
yeah, and then you got rigged up. I remember Sean was plugging you in there, and you did the set in between the long round and the short round.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, this guy is so good.
Oh,
and you
shoot.
killed it up at the finals, and you were same thing. You were just up there with your guitar, just ripping.
Yeah, just me and Martin. Yeah, that's about it.
Martin.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
the
sort of
brand of the guitar or whatever.
Oh,
I just
okay.
call him Martin.
So back
Marty.
then, was that a big?
Marty.
Was that the biggest crowd you would have played in front of that post-event show in Sylvan?
No, Ranchman's was has been
That
the
was the
biggest
big one?
show and or biggest event, yeah. And at Sylvan, that was a pretty cool one to play in front of, and you're playing in front of a campfire, you might get a few few older couples that have been drinking all day, you know, dancing. But to see a lot of people actually dance to the songs I was singing was pretty cool to see. Yeah.
Is it the same? Did you get the same, I guess, adrenaline rush climbing in the chute as you do walking up on stage with a microphone? Is it similar? Like, how does that feel for you?
Well, when I was behind stage at Ranchman's here, ready to get up on stage with the band for the first time, I had that same kind of butterflies in your stomach, and you feel your heart pounding through your pearl snaps, and yeah, I got up on stage there, and honestly, it was a lot more relaxing than riding bulls. Not saying bull riding isn't relaxing, but I mean,
I've never heard of bull riding being called relaxing.
That's
a new one for me.
It's pretty tough to beat the feeling of crawling over those pipes. I don't know, this music stuff. I mean, it's a blast, and I'm learning as I go, and I've got a long ways to go. But bull riding is still number one from here, or for right now, and yeah, I will be until I can't ride bulls anymore. I know that for sure.
What are the goals on the music side when you do go to the music side? Or like, what if it blows up, and what if you get like super famous? Like, are you gonna still want to ride bulls, or like?
Oh,
what
yeah,
happens?
bull riding's number one.
You're still gonna,
all the way.
okay.
Yeah, bull riding's number one. I mean,
We tried, Denny. We tried.
what's that?
I said we tried, Denny.
yeah, no kidding. I mean, I don't know. I've been wanting to ride bulls a lot longer than I wanted to play guitar, and I never really even thought about putting albums out or anything until I kind of went to school and kind of got to wrap my head around it, I guess. And yeah, no, you can't beat the feeling of stepping off one and landing on your feet, and announcer says 87 points, or it's unexplainable.
Better than when he says 78 and you should have been 92, right?
A lot better.
Down.
A lot better.
So, but I mean, for you right now, it's pretty cool that you can actually do both, right? It's something that you're gonna go to Darwell, kick the hole on the side of a few of them, and then go play.
Hopefully.
I mean, it's probably pretty special that you can do both now.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. You know, that last summer when I couldn't ride and I was playing, I was having a blast doing all these shows, and like I said, learning lots along the way. But when I crawled over the pipes on the first few back, it was like I'd been building a puzzle for a year and a half, and I'd lost this one piece, and the most important one, and I finally found it sitting underneath the couch or something. You know, I don't know. Now that the puzzle's all back together, it's really turning into a fun summer, and yeah, I got no complaints.
Super cool.
Yeah.
When you go back to the music side, you put some stuff out. You recorded some tracks.
Yeah.
When did you decide that, hey, I got to record some stuff and get some stuff put out there? What was that process like?
This is actually after Ranchman's. I kind of got connected with a few guys after the finals there, and got a few business cards, and yeah, just kind of started talking with these guys at MCC Studios here in Calgary. And
Is that Maddie McKay?
what's that?
Is that Maddie McKay?
No,
So-
they've
no.
been around forever. They've
Okay.
recorded Ian Tyson and
cool.
done a lot with
Gord?
Bamford.
Oh, Gord, cool.
Yeah, a lot of guys, and yeah, they kind of took me under their wing and helped me out recording those first three.
How long did it take you to lay it all down?
I think it took us about a week total. It took us
Okay.
about 5 days in the studio, and then it took a couple days mixing with Johnny Gasparic. He was the mix and master on that, and yeah, he played a few little guitar parts on some of those tracks, and yeah, no, it was a really cool experience. You know, I learned a lot at school being in the studio, but like I said, learning it and doing it is a whole other beast. It was pretty special.
So, is this all self-funded? Like, you're putting your own money on the line to do this, or like, that's not 5 days in the studio is not cheap. It's not free.
No, and yeah, getting studio players to come out too
Yeah.
and play. It was I had some help for sure, but yeah, a lot of it was out of my own pocket too. Yeah.
Because when you get a studio musician, you're paying him, right? You're cutting him the check.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's not like like if you had a full band, I guess, and they're your band and you recorded with your band, you could pay them royalties and cuts off the songs. But like my name's not big enough for anything to have them to be able to have a guarantee to get paid. And so yeah, there's just kind of a work for hire thing. There's, okay, I'll play these 3 songs and I'll do this and you pay me that and then we'll see you later. Yeah.
Are you one of those people who enjoys listening to your own music? So like when you got when you finally got the tracks all finished, did you just put it on repeat?
No,
No?
not at all. No, shoot.
Hated it.
It's yeah. I don't know. I get pretty particular. Like any little wobble or anything, I think I could have done better. It's same as my bull riding. It's like shoot. I don't know. It's an eerie feeling. It's a little strange. Like you know when you hear yourself on an interview or you hear on a video or something like that, and
I don't like
wow,
my
like, I
voice.
really sound like that. Like
I'm the
it's
same
kind
way.
of strange.
If I scroll through something that I'm announced at or clips, I can't.
He's
I
even
can't
asked me
listen. I
to
gotta
change
go.
the
I gotta
audio
keep
on
going.
videos. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, would you change that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Tofield one time. You were like, hey, can you put something else over that?
Yeah, that
Because he
sucked.
made some kind of weird noise.
Yeah.
Dustin was like announcing, and it was, I don't know what it was, but you made a weird noise when you're trying to like sell a bull ride.
Yeah, I think I had a squeak.
A little voice crack.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. I was like, oh yeah, I don't mind. Like I didn't
Take
notice
that
it.
out. Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
get fix that for me.
But
Yeah.
it's funny because some people would record a song and like they would listen to it 100 times and just love it, and other people don't, right? So
Yeah, I don't know. It was a little strange, but yeah, I've been traveling with Nick Tetz and Trent Switzer here, and yeah, Carter Sully these last few weekends, and yeah, Nick and Chance, they keep playing her in the van and they're in the Capri and everything, and yeah, no, it's been fun.
you mentioned about getting some doors opened, got you to recording from the Ranchman's Rising Star stuff.
Yeah.
Have you had lots of people reach out since then about playing live shows and getting involved with you? What does that look like?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I've had a few like Instagram and Facebook. They've been kind of the window, I guess, in that area. I got a website built up and stuff like that. I was dealing with some people at Airdrie. They kind of got me set up with all that, and yeah, no, it's been good. I've been trying to get as many shows as I can without interfering with the bull riding schedule. So
Do you got an agent yet? Or a manager?
no, I'm not signed on with anybody
We'll
yet.
talk.
or-
We might have to start like Cowboy Shit Records, and Dusty could be our
There
first
you go.
client.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
for sure.
Could be good.
Cowboy
Yeah.
Shit worldwide, wide.
Yeah.
Our first show will be at the Catalina Wine Mixer.
Yeah. Then we would get a nice cut of the Ranchman's gig tomorrow night. We should sign him today.
Yeah.
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 Shoot. Heck yeah.
Okay, bull riding though. What's the goals in the bull riding side of things?
Well, I think every bull rider's big goal at the end of the day is be a world champion bull rider. Like if you're serious about riding bulls, you want to have that gold buckle around your waist at the end of it. But as of right now, I'm chasing the rookie of the year in the PBRs and kind of doing everything I can for that one. And yeah, this winter I'm hoping to just start entering those velocities down south in the PBRs, and just whatever ones I get into, I just want to buy a ticket and go. And yeah, after that we'll kind of see what happens. I might be back up here for a year, but I'm hoping to be staying down south there.
Is goal to get to the Canadian Finals in the bull riding as well?
Like
the rodeo
in the
side of
CFR?
things?
CFR?
Oh yeah, for sure. I bought my rodeo card just in time for Ponoka here this other weekend, because they had 60,000 at it. That's the biggest bull riding in Canada, really. And
I think Nick stayed in the Canadian standings last year, and he only went to Ponoka.
He only went and he
Yeah.
won Ponoka.
Yeah.
Would have been like third in the season.
yeah, exactly.
Won 24,000 that counted.
And went to one event. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love rodeos. When I was a steer rider, I remember first pro rodeo I went to was Falkland, and I was tying my boot ties on during the bareback riding, and had my back to the arena, but I knew exactly how that bareback rider was sitting just from the sound of the crowd. It was unbelievable. So
Cool first rodeo.
the CFR is definitely in the picture, but for right now in these earlier years, I think the PBR is the way to go for me.
What? I had a funny story about Falkland. So I rode moccasin bead in like 2010 in Jasper, and I was like 91 and a half. And it was
Okay.
like the highest marked ride for a couple years.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been on a bull in like 6 weeks, and it was the first one back, and it was my first pro rodeo that I won. I had done pretty good in Innisfail earlier in the year and filled my
Yeah.
permit. So I filled my card with the 90, in Jasper on this bull.
Yeah.
And in Falkland the next year, I had the same bull drawn again, and then Chad Bestplug, now the Stampede, Calgary Stampede, rodeo manager, rodeo director. He puts a thing on Twitter because we were all up to shenanigans on Twitter back in the day, and he's like, Ted, if you don't stay on moccasin bead in Falkland, then the first time was just a fluke. Busted my balls. Sure enough, I fell off.
Sure enough.
Oh, shit.
He hyped it up and then I fell off. But then I got him back because he drew moccasin bead in Calgary later that year. And I was like, hey, Chad. It was the year after he won Calgary. And I was like, hey, Chad, if you don't ride moccasin bead and win Calgary again next year, the first one was just a fluke.
Did you ride him?
No, he fell off.
No, he did. Eh? Oh, yeah. Well, that's bull riding.
Yeah.
It was like a year later. It was grand.
Shoot.
What's it like? You said you travel with Nick and Chance?
Yeah.
So what's been the summer like traveling with those two guys?
Oh, it's been a blast.
Lots of steak dinners with Nick winning $50,000 in a week.
Well, I didn't travel with him that weekend,
Oh,
so I didn't get the steak dinner. Chance got her though, but yeah, no, it's been a blast with those guys. I've been learning lots, and good thing they know the way of the road a little bit more than Carter and I do, because I think Carter and I'd be sleeping on park benches if it wasn't for those two. And yeah, it's been really fun and learning lots.
Because it's important to surround yourself with guys who are hungry for it, right? Like that's a big part of it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's you really gotta I don't know, pick your traveling partners. Like if you want to run with wolves, you gotta run with wolves, and yeah, that's kind of my look on that for sure.
Yeah.
I think some of my favorite times were going with Tanner Byrne, Ty Pozzabon.
Yeah.
And it was the three of us for a while. Like the three of us got to go together, and I don't think I ever really rode that well traveling with those guys, but like I felt like I was around the right people.
Yeah, when
And,
you're
like,
around guys that are winning, you just feel like you're
confident. Yeah, right. Even if I didn't win, like I was like, this is sweet.
What's Nick's as of today? How much money has Nick won this last 2 weeks? Like
oh,
50
geez.
grand.
I don't
It was
know.
like,
You'll have to
did
ask
he get
him.
26,000 yesterday at a Calgary?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, no, because he won money the day before, but he won like 20-some thousand. Anyways, in his 3 days in Calgary, which is since he only got checks twice, he won 26,000 in those 2 days, but he won 21,000 or more at Cody's bull riding, so you're already at 47, plus some guys gave him some money at the Calcutta, so say he's at 60, plus the 7,700 from Ponoka PBR the week before. So between Saturday, and then he won money at Ponoka Stampede.
Yeah.
So he probably won 70,000. He probably won 10 grand at Ponoka too, because he rode 2 wheels in Ponoka.
No, he's been lighting them up. He's been on a roll too.
So he won 70,000 in between Saturday's PBR in Ponoka and Friday's Calgary Stampede, like 7 calendar days. You won like 70,000, 10,000 a day.
Yeah.
That's got to motivate a guy. You know, you can win a lot of money, right?
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
no, that's the way it should be, honestly.
Any funny shit from the road with those guys this year you can share?
Jeez.
Don't get anybody in trouble.
Have they been hard on you being a rookie or what?
Honestly, I was waiting for it, but it hasn't come yet. But it's now that I said
I like
that,
how he
it's
said
probably-
yet though. He's
yeah,
like,
now that I say that, it's probably
hasn't happened
coming.
yet.
No, it's been great. You know, we had it's been awesome. I've learned a lot from these guys. Like,
who did you look
just,
up to? Your dad obviously was a Canadian champion and rode well. Was there some guys when you were growing up that you really idolized or looked up to in bull riding and rodeo?
oh yeah, like my grandparents bought me the 2009 box set of the PBR World Finals, and I watched them over and over until them DVDs were burnt out. And so Cody Lostro, he won it that year. I really looked up to him, and JB won the finals. He got second that year. I got the whole. I can tell you pretty much who won every round. And Pete Farley rode Bones for the first time for 92.5 that year, I think, too. And
93 and a quarter.
yeah, that's what it was. Something like that. It was, I don't know. I watched that a lot. So, yeah, Cody.
Zach
and,
Brown spurred a bull in the neck that year.
What's that?
Zach Brown, he's a California guy.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe that might be a couple years off, yeah.
Shoot,
Sorry.
I can't remember. I don't know that name.
09. 09 might not have been Zach Brown. It might be a mixed up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else happened in 09. Aaron Roy did really well in 2010.
Yeah,
He won like 100,000 the next year.
He was riding there.
Would have been his second World Finals.
09 too. He was there
His
that year too.
First
I think.
one would have been 2008, I think, if I remember right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can't recall. I'm not
Sorry,
too sure.
anyways.
It's funny,
okay.
yeah,
Sidebar.
it's funny. It shows our generations. He's watching DVDs from '09, and I remember having Cody Schneider's bull busting videos from the Saddle Dome.
Oh man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on tape back in the day. It was like Kelly Armstrong and
VHS.
Mickey Ireland and those guys. But
That's awesome.
so we got a little
Robert
gap,
Bowers.
generational gap on the
Yeah.
bull riding videos.
What about your dad's
Yeah.
buddies? Like, how many of them were around or are around, or like how many of
Oh.
them are razzing you or were giving you tips and whatnot in the bull riding? early on?
Lots of them. Pretty much all of them. Yeah.
Who would they be? I'm not even sure right now. I'm trying
Well,
to think.
back in my dad's time,
Mayerthorpe
was a big
was a hub.
for
Derek
for-
Adams.
Yeah, Derek's right there.
Corey Prutton.
Yep.
Who else? I'm trying to think who else.
Derek-
Like
there's,
Kelly Morton
Yeah.
was fighting bulls like in the mid
know,
2000s.
Well, Morty. Yeah.
Muley, right? And then Sean
Editor
Morton,
of the show, Sean Morton.
Sean's
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wild Rose Finals bullfighter.
Yeah. No, and Riley
think who else.
Everts and Rass Everts
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're neighbors with me too.
And then Riez, like Travis Rie.
Yeah, he'd come
Grew up
out.
there.
I used to have a few practice bulls, and yeah, once or twice a week we'd go and we'd buck these few bulls once or twice, and it was everyone come out and they'd bring a few beers, and I'd get on my bulls, and yeah, it was awesome. I'd ride one and they'd sit and they'd have a beer and we'd talk about it, and then okay, well, you did this good, and you work on this on the next one maybe, and okay, sounds good, we'll run another one in. The time was on our side. We'd drag it out till 10:30, 11 sometimes, and they loved it just as much as I did, I think. And yeah, without those guys really taking the time and teaching me these little things, and just teaching me to keep it simple, and just kind of keep it simple and be a cowboy. Really, don't overcomplicate things, or don't worry about what the judges have to say or what this bull does or that bull does. Just ride them true every time, and ride them the same every time. And yeah, without those guys, I don't know, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today in the bull riding side of things.
Did you get on a lot of practice bulls? Was that something that was important to you? Was kind of honing it and practicing a lot?
Big time. Yeah, I'd go to Shea Mark's place, and I'd get on 10 a night sometimes, and I'd go to Nansen Vold's place in the winter there, and I'd get on 7 or 8 a night, and Rimby practice pens, Olds, I went there quite a few times, and when I was 16, 15, just kind of stepping into the junior bulls and the open bulls, I'd got on as many practice bulls as I could, and now that I come back, I haven't been getting on as many, which probably should, just to kind of knock some rust off or whatever, and get the wheels greased a bit, but yeah, I used to tie on quite a few back in the day.
How's this season been going for you?
Good, yeah. No, it's at its peaks and valleys a little bit. It's I've probably only been on, I want to say, 30 bulls since I got back and had that year and a half off. But yeah, it's been good. I've been winning some checks here and there. You know, Elk Ridge, I won a little money there. Where else? Kingston, Ontario, got a little money out of there. Humboldt, Saskatchewan, got a little bit out of there, and then a few BRCs I went to, won some cash, and yeah, no, we're just trying to get these PBR bulls figured out. You know, they got an extra gear than those BRC bulls do, and they're a little quicker and stronger and bigger, and yeah, no, it's coming though. We still got some work to do, but yeah.
So you don't have to tell us any numbers, but does the live music gigs pay as good as the PBR checks, or is it pretty similar?
Honestly, I'd say the PBR pays a little better right now, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
So that's why you could keep chasing the riding bulls for a bit here till
yeah, for
till the
sure.
venues get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, maybe one day. Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Is there any revenue from the streaming or any of that, like that stuff yet? Like
A little bit, yeah.
you getting a bit?
Yeah.
A few bucks?
I think it's 0.0007 cents a play or something like that. It's I couldn't tell you for sure, but
So he's made 27 cents.
yeah.
So
yeah.
people get out there and hit play as many times as you can.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
And we
pretty
should talk
awesome.
about that.
Sure.
Where can, like, if people want to
Yeah.
hear all your tunes, where's the best place to get it? Is it on iTunes, Spotify, all that?
Yeah, it's on Apple Music, Spotify. It's anywhere you can listen to music.
Perfect.
It's on Instagram, TikTok for the reels and stuff like that
Nice.
too. And yeah, anywhere you can listen to music, it's on there.
I'm forgetting it now here. I don't know what I'm trying to. I don't know what I'm trying to get.
Ted's
at.
hamster fell off his wheel.
I was going along in it.
I just kind of want to chat about, we're obviously here at Ranchman's, and it's a pretty iconic venue. Like this week alone, there's like some really good artists playing here. They got Drake Milligan tonight, Zach Top later this week,
Chancey
Williams.
Chancey Williams, yeah.
And there's been a lot of great artists here over the years. Like some big names have
Toby
played
Keith.
here. Toby Keith has played here. So
Yeah.
what does it mean for you to say that, you get to play at Ranchman's during Stampede? Like, is that a pretty cool feeling for you?
Yeah, no, it's pretty special to be able to go up there and play with a full band and everything like that. It's I don't know, I haven't really been able to figure it out and explain it yet, but no, it's gonna be a fun time. I know that.
Oh man.
So how long you got to play for? What's the set list look like?
3 hour-long sets. Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
That's a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be the biggest show I've ever played so far with the band anyways.
So it's obviously going to
yeah.
be full in here. It's going to be a rowdy Stampede drinking crowd. Do you
Yeah.
got the stage presence part down yet? Can you work the crowd on the mic yet, or what does that look like for you?
Well, I'm a lot better at the playing part than I am the talking part. I know that, but no, we'll do our best. We'll try and get them on the dance floor and having a good time, anyways.
Do you drink while you play? Do you got to have a little something to take the edge off?
It'll wet the whistle a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Buckskin or two for the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot.
The songs. What gets them out on the dance floor? Which one?
Oh,
Or which set?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of pick my songs off of kind of what I would really like to play and what means something to me, and what I know is gonna mean something to the crowd, and if they feel like they want to get up and dance to it, like there's some Steve Earle songs in there and
Which one?
stuff like that. Well, you have to see tomorrow, I guess.
Oh, watch
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Hey.
What's your favorite
No.
song that's not your own to play live?
Yes. Great question, Dustin. Or
Or
your favorite 3? You can give us like 3 or 4 here.
3. Well, I know the top one for sure is Somewhere in the Middle by Cody Jinks, and it's been my favorite one for a long time. Cody Jinks is another guy that he's pretty frequent in my playlist these days, it seems like.
What about an old time country song? Which one?
Ooh.
Or a couple?
Oh, that's a tough one.
John Prine. Let's just focus down.
Favorite John Prine song?
Yeah.
It'd have to be Souvenirs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you're going to open with? I mean, the show will have happened when the podcast comes out. So
Tell us what you're opening with. What's your first
opening?
We won't put this
Hippies
out.
and Cowboys, Cody Jinks.
Oh,
But I-
yeah.
see a theme here, yeah.
But when I learned that song, I learned it at Pinoca when I was like 14 years old, and I'd never really heard it before. So I think I listened to it twice or 3 times, and then pulled it up on my phone and I started playing it. And I played it totally different than how he plays it. So it's a little quicker and there's a little bit more guitar picking in there.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, no, that'll be the one to kick it off.
Do you change any lyrics to make them like to mess with things, or do you stick by the lyrics that the original artist wrote?
The lyrics I try and keep about as straight laced as I
Okay,
can. Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes I'll play with them a little bit if I
Yeah.
get that feeling, I guess. But
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So 3 hours is a lot of music. And
It's
when
like
you're standing up
100
on stage, that's a lot of
songs,
songs.
Yeah.
So how
3
much
hours?
practice
No, that's
with
wrong.
the full band to be able to do this show?
It's probably 60 songs. 20 an hour.
45 songs I think we got
Total.
to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because you're like 3.5 minutes plus like breaks and whatnot.
How much practicing to get that
Yeah.
set nailed down and ready for tomorrow? Or are the guys so good that you don't have to
You
practice
just show up
too
and do
much?
it.
These guys that are playing there, they're really good. Really good.
Show up and do it.
We had one rehearsal. Yeah, that was the only one where it worked out with everybody that they weren't playing shows and stuff like that to sit down and play. So yeah, we had one rehearsal, went through just about all the songs, and
Just
and
about?
just about, yeah. We got the important ones we needed to work on anyways out of the way, and yeah, we're just gonna get up there and just have as much fun as we can, and
That's awesome.
yeah, just give her.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. We got anything else?
No, it's
We
gonna be
almost
cool.
did.
Like it'll be cool to see you go from in the arena in Sylvan Lake with you and your guitar
Yeah.
to a full band at Ranchman's
Pretty
during
cool.
Stampede. It's not like
Big.
it's a Wednesday night in February. Like this is
Yeah.
like the peak of Ranchman's living.
Yeah,
during
no,
Stampede, right?
for sure. It's yeah, it's pretty special to be able to get up there and play beside all these big names and everything. And yeah.
Is there going to be a lot of the bull riders you travel with and your buddies going to be here for this show? You got a lot of people coming?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I think, there's going to be a handful of friends coming out and some family members and stuff. And, yeah, just hopefully I give them a good show. Hopefully it all works out.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's it's been great chatting with you, and it's funny because you can talk to people later in their careers in music, or in the midst of climbing up, and you're kind of a guy that's kind of just getting a rolling. So it's gonna be really cool to see where you go, and like you look at someone like Luke, who is like music and bull riding. And
that's what I want to talk about. Luke Kaufman.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think Luke rode that much.
He rode a little bit, didn't he? Though?
Yeah, I think a little bit, but
it was in rodeo and
but has been on the production side forever, like Luke Kaufman.
Yeah.
So,
I know who he is.
How many songs of Luke's do you play? Did you meet him in Ottawa too, by the way?
No, I never did get to meet him.
Oh man, you should have come bug me to come meet him.
I should have. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I really should have.
Oh yeah, he's such a good dude.
No, I've listened to his songs since I was a steer rider traveling down the road.
Who doesn't know bull riding son of a bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But it's cool to see how many guys are genuine rodeo guys who live it.
Just McBride,
and play music.
Colby Yates.
Yeah.
Who else are you thinking about? There's somebody that's more recent that I always forget about. That's like doing stuff right now.
Well, Chancey Williams, he used to ride Bronx, I guess, back in the day too.
Core Blund, rodeo guy.
Yeah.
Who else are
I
missing?
remember looking at that album cover of him when he's riding a steer with no vest and no hat.
$5
and
bill.
His hair's all blowing back.
$5 bill.
Yeah, that's super
Corb
cool.
And who else?
I'm trying to think. There's tons of them, but I just
Chris Ledoux.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
that's
one.
pretty hard one to miss.
You got any Chris in your playlist?
Oh yeah, this Cowboy's hat. That's a tough one not to play.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Yeah, the last question, the most important one of the whole show is, Dusty Golden, what's your definition of cowboy shit?
Cowboy shit. It's not letting the little things phase you, and if you get in a pickle, just to shoot from the hip, and if it feels good, do it.
I like it. Shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
I like it.
Just don't shoot from the hip during that set. Just keep her dialed in, eh?
Yeah. No,
don't forget any words.
Yeah.
Don't stop and start over, right?
No, there'll be none of that. None of that.
Oh, it's been fun. We're sitting up on the patio.
Beautiful
it's,
summer day.
Sunday night?
Sunday night right now.
Stampede always reminds me of like the time between Christmas and New Year's when you really don't know what day it is. That's what it feels like. So it's Sunday night.
Yeah.
Beautiful night at Ranchman's. Drake Milligan's playing here tonight.
Yep.
And then the main star of the whole week, Dusty Golden here.
Monday
night.
I
don't know about
night.
all that, but
Monday Night Live. But this show's coming out.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So Stampede will still have a few days left. So make sure you come on down to Ranchman's. Check it out.
Yeah.
Get your music.
Sure.
Get your Dusty Gold music wherever music is sold.
Get those. We got to get that .0006 cent. Get into that guy's bank account here.
Get those streams going.
Get those plays.
Be
Those
much
streams.
appreciated.
The show will come out Wednesday. So going into next weekend, the final weekend of Stampede and stuff, what's your schedule like on the bull riding side of things once you wrap up here?
Well, I was at Cody Snyder's bull busting there all week at the beginning of it. And, first 4 days, I rode my first bull. I slapped him, though, so they DQ'd me. And I was just, I don't know, I was looking at the money, at the dollar signs and not the bull, I think. And, I just screwed up a few good ones that I had, and the last one I had on the fourth day stepped on me, so I got to take a few days off here. But Kelowna, BC will be my next one back, and then we're in Czar, and I'll be on the fence line, I think, until then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good luck at the show.
Yeah, thanks, Dusty.
Kick some ass.
Yeah, we'll do. And
If you
thanks
haven't
for
heard
having
Dusty,
me out
have
here.
a listen. He's great.
Yeah, Sean's gonna put both songs in the podcast here, so
Yeah, that'd be
give you
awesome.
some promos.
And it's all brought to you by Ranchman's.
Yeah.
Calgary's Honky Tonk.
We got some good swag. We got some air fresheners.
Yep.
We got our pins.
Yeah.
Actually, Dustin, let's do a quick little thing. Dusty, join us here if you'd like. We might have to ask Devin too, and the crew, our favorite Ranchman stories. We didn't do this last time.
Favorite Ranchman story?
Yeah, did I ever tell you about the time Sean Morton and I woke up in my car here in the back of the parking lot?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Sean and I were loaded. We went to Garth Brooks together in 2012 at the Stampede.
Yeah.
Sean was working pyro all day, and I was doing my media stuff, like everything Cowboy, like the website stuff back in the day. And Sean and I went to Garth Brooks together and drank like 17 dome beers each, like the dome beers each. And like, I'm admitting to a crime right now, but I drove my Monte Carlo to the Ranchmans.
Ooh.
Down McLeod Trail.
Ooh.
Yeah, bad.
Oh.
I had way too many dome beers. I probably had like 2 and I was still trashed.
Yeah.
But like Sean was so messed up, he didn't even make it in the bar.
He stayed in the Monte
Oh,
Carlo?
He stayed in the car, and it was still light out. Like he was that trashed. He slept in the car, and I went inside long enough to like maybe have 1 beer or something and get a kubasa, and then I remember waking up in the morning and it was light out and it was hot in the car already. It was like probably 6 in the morning, and I open the door and I'm like, I look out and there's like puke on the side of my car from the kubasa, and it was like I was like, Sean, who puked in the car? And it was like he was like, that was you, Ted. That was you.
I don't know if I have any like
shoot.
we had a lot of Ranchman's nights. I can think back to Stampede 6-7 years ago, and we were mainstays here. I do remember one
Every night on the stage. The
I
stage
do-
you performed at, like the
Yeah.
side one here.
Yeah.
I do remember one time being like super obnoxious because if you have your CPRA card here, they let you in, or they used to let you in.
They knew
front of
us.
the line.
Yeah.
Sanj
So
and
you
I-
didn't have to wait in line. So I remember one time the line was like all the way to the west, like tons of people. And we
Hundreds
come
of people
walking
in
up,
the
and I'm
line.
like, "Oh yeah, my card, we're good. We can get in." I just remember running by people like obnoxiously holding out in front, being like, "Going to the front, going to the front, going to the front."
VIP,
People were booing me.
Oh, I bet.
They were booing.
yeah,
like,
but you don't
"Boo,"
do
like,
that though,
yeah,
Dustin.
yeah.
Just
Well, I
don't
was
do
drunk, so
Oh.
Shoot.
yeah.
What else? There was another really fun one time. I remember like pool when it used to be two pools, like pool A, pool B, and then Saturday, like wild card Saturday. The Monday night here with the pole climb and like everyone finishing pool A was so much fun because we would all just get fucking hammered on Monday night because all the pool A
Yeah.
guys were like, "Oh, we're done. Like we can let loose
Yeah.
finally and like get kind of
Yeah.
mangled." And like
For sure.
we were so like everybody was like untucking everybody's shirts that
Oh,
time, like
yeah.
Schiffner and like I think Tanner Gertz was there, Devin Maisie, like back in the day when there was lots of Canadians in the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah.
So it was like our whole gang was all kicking around and I was
Yeah.
doing my website stuff already, whatever. But like yeah, the Monday was quite the rager.
Yeah.
Fucking fun. And then Sunday night.
Yeah.
I remember I've slept in my car here on Sunday night a couple times.
Well, I
You get all
remember
banged
one
up
of my
on the
favorite
Sunday.
times here was like I grew up in Big Valley with Zeke.
Oh,
And
Zeke,
when he
yeah.
won his first Calgary here, and we were all here partying
On
that
Sunday
night,
night,
popping
yeah.
champagne, and
Yeah.
that was a hell of a good time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and then that world champion party time. That was
yeah,
a
the
lot of
world
fun, too.
champion party we did here
Yeah,
after the NFR
that was
cool.
a year later, I think. But
Oh,
Kale
yeah.
had that really cool Christmas suit. Remember that?
oh yeah, it
Kale
was
eats
so
it?
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of
Yeah.
memories in this place.
A lot of memories and a
Yeah.
lot of memories I don't remember.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ranchmans.
You can hear about them, but you can't talk about them, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good times. Okay, thanks, Dusty.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's been
thanks
a
for
blast.
doing it.
Yeah, it's been
Pleasure.
good.
Thanks, Dusty.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dusty.
So this
All
was Dusty Golden live on the Ranchman's patio. He's playing here Monday night. You're hearing
Yeah.
about it Wednesday, so hopefully you're at the show and
Hopefully you
hopefully
enjoyed
it kicked ass. It will kick ass.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
All right. Thank you to Megan from Ranchman's and our guest today. What an interview with Dusty Golden.
Yeah, Dusty's great. He's got a great career ahead of him, not only in the bull riding but in the music as well.
Yeah, hope he does
uh,
big things.
Can't wait to see where his career goes in the music side of things. He's got some cool tunes, so download it, listen
it
to
out.
it,
Check it out.
and come to Ranchman's this weekend for some great
check it out.
music.
Yeah.
Gonna be a hell of a good time. And Sunday night when everybody's celebrating the $50,000 wins,
Come down and
Come
party
down.
with everybody over here.
dude, gonna be a lot of fun. And
Hopefully we got lots of Canadian Cowboys winning again.
yeah,
Be awesome.
thanks to Ranchman's for having us. And
100%.
And they
Unreal.
supplying us with some drinks,
Some
some
frosty brews.
some Bud Rights, and our Cowboy Shit
Yeah.
koozies, and some swag. And
No, that is not a koozie, Dustin.
Oh.
That is a Tootie wrap.
Cootie wrap.
Tudi wrap.
Cootie wrap,
No,
Tootie,
Tootie.
Tootie. Oh yeah,
Tootie
thanks
wrap.
to Tootie wrap.
How cold was your beer?
It's still cold,
It's still cold.
and it's been in there for an hour.
It's empty and it's still cold.
Yeah, but
You can put beer back in there and it would cool
Yeah.
back down.
so we're stampeding. We'll be in the middle
Yep.
of Stampede here.
Yeah, betcha.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Ranchman's, thanks for being a great host.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. We'll see you all again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you betcha. Thanks, Teddy.
All right. Thanks, Dustin. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Devin.